Hello, we're going to do now another lesson. Today we're going to do solving system of equations using elimination. Elimination is easier than substitution, and elimination also has like a few more rules, but it is a lot easier than substitution. Remember, the idea of elimination, like the word says, is to eliminate one of the variables, either one. So when we eliminate one variable, we're going to find a variable n. When we find the value of that variable, we're going to use it to find the value of the second variable. I know it sounds like a twist tongue, but follow the rules and you should be fine. Okay, so let me just rephrase this in Spanish. Ok, niños, vamos a hacer ahora sistema de ecuaciones usando eliminación. Eliminación es mucho más fácil que la sustitución, aunque hay un poquito más de reglas, pero a pesar de todo es mucho más fácil. Ok, so la idea es encontrar el valor de una variable para luego usar ese valor y encontrar el valor de la segunda variable. ¿Ok? Recuérdense que un sistema de dos ecuaciones tenemos que buscar dos variables. So, aquí yo tomo el proceso en los dos idiomas, en inglés y en español. Ustedes léanlo cuando miren el video y léanlo cuando estén haciendo la tarea. ¿Ok? So, guys, here I have provided you with the steps in how to solve a system of equations. Okay? Using elimination. Okay, if you notice, okay, we have some examples here for you done. But let me tell you again what the idea is. Okay, the idea is to eliminate one of the variables, okay, to find one variable. Once we have done that, we're going to use that value. We're going to substitute in either one of the two equations to find the value of the other variable. So take a minute and read one by one the steps that I provide to you in English or in Spanish. But remember, this is the more important thing, okay? What we're going to do today is listen. If the variable have the same number but not opposite signs, all of the terms of one of the equations can be changed to the opposite sign, okay? But remember, the first thing to do is find the variable where the coefficients are the same number and they have opposite signs. So remember, we're going to concentrate. The goal is to have one of the variables with the same coefficient, which means the same number in front of the variable, but with different signs. It must be positive and a negative, cannot be same signs. So if you apply all these rules right here, you'll be fine. Ok, muchachos, acuérdense que para usar eliminación tenemos que tener una variable con los coeficientes iguales. O sea, la variable tiene que tener el mismo número, pero a la misma vez tiene que tener signos diferentes, o sea, signos opuestos. Tiene que ser uno positivo y uno negativo para poderlo eliminar. Ok, so I'm giving you two examples here. Hay dos ejemplos. So today we're going to concentrate in these kind of examples, and tomorrow we're going to work with these kind of examples, okay? So hoy, muchachos, vamos a concentrar en este tipo de problemas. So, olvídense de ese por ahora, okay? So aquí yo les doy un ejemplo ya resuelto. Recuerden, ese es para mañana. So si yo les doy un sistema, okay, aquí hay dos ecuaciones. Acuérdense, muchachos, acuérdense por favor que tienen que buscar una variable que tenga el mismo coeficiente y signos opuestos. Okay, guys, remember, today we're going to work in these kind of examples only. But the goal is for you to know that one of the variables must have the same coefficient but opposite signs. If you notice here, the t has a negative and a positive, and the number in front of each t is 1. Which means they both have the same coefficient but different signs. Muchachos, en este problema ustedes pueden ver claramente que las t tienen signos opuestos, uno menos y uno más. Y el número enfrente de la t es 1. por lo tanto las dos tienen como coeficientes 1, que es una de mis reglas, y tienen signos opuestos, que es mi segunda regla. Entonces yo automáticamente puedo eliminar las t. So, yo lo copié aquí para hacer el proceso. Alright guys, so once you have identified the variable with the same coefficient and different signs, you can proceed to eliminate that. So because negative plus positive, when I add in same sign numbers, if they have the same value, the same coefficient, they're going to cancel out. So that means that negative t plus t becomes 0, so I cancel that out. And I solve for s. 1 plus 1 is 2s. Remember that we're adding. What do you do now? Now you will divide by 2, okay? Oh, you also have to add this. 4 plus 2 is 6, and when you divide by 2, the value of s is 3. Now, once you have found the value of x, you're going to use either one of these two equations, and you're going to substitute the value of x as for 3. So here, we use the first one, okay? Because as you can see, we use that one. So I wrote s minus t equals 4. Now this s becomes 3. So 3 minus t equals 4. Then I have to solve for t. And because this one is positive, I'll make it negative. So I can cancel it, right? So I cancel that and I have negative t. Don't forget that. Negative t equals 1. And as you know, in front of the t, there is a 1. So that means that we have to divide by negative 1 so we can end with t as positive. You cannot have negative variable, remember that. So 1 divided by negative 1 is 1. Okay, niños, look. So una vez que yo elimino las t, me quedan 2s es igual a 6. Si divido entre 2, es el valor de x, que x es igual a 3. So cuando encuentro el valor de s, perdón, estoy diciendo x, s, so uso cualquiera de las dos ecuaciones. Aquí yo cogí la primera, okay, que es s menos 3 igual a 4. So esta s pasa a ser, ¿qué? 3. So la reemplazo y pongo 3 menos t igual a 4. Ahora voy a resolver por t. El 3 viaja, como es positivo, lo hago negativo, ¿ok? Y aquí me queda negativo t, igual a 1. Recuerden, no podemos tener variables negativas. So, automáticamente sabemos que enfrente de la t hay un 1. Por lo tanto, dividimos entre negativo 1. Y ahora mi respuesta es negativo 1. So, t es igual a negativo 1. So, esta es mi solución. Este es mi x y este es mi y. Acuérdense que la x siempre va primero. Okay? So, this was just the example. Alright? So now we're going to do some problems just like that. I'm going to give it to you ready to eliminate. So, muchachos, este es un ejemplo para que ustedes lo usen de referencia. Ahora vamos a hacer los problemas de hoy solamente en este formato. Ya listos para eliminar. Mañana vamos a hacer este tipo de problemas, donde vamos a hacer un pasito más. So, guys, tomorrow we're going to do a problem like this, which is going to be adding an extra step. But for now, everything is going to be just like example number 1. So let's begin. Model examples, right? All right. So my first goal is to find the variable that has the same coefficient and different signs, okay? Muchachos, la idea es encontrar la variable que tenga signos diferentes y coeficientes iguales. So in this case, y has different signs and the same coefficient. So the y one is cancels out. So we just perform the next the operations. 2 plus 6 plus 4, I'm sorry, that give you 6x, and 18 plus 12 will give you 30. So I'm going to divide by 6, and my value of x is 5. So what happened? Now that I have found the value of y, the value of x, I have to find the value of y. So you can pick any one of the equations. I'm going to pick the one because I don't want to work with negatives, all right? You don't want to work with negatives. But if you have no choice, then you have to pick either one. So I'm going to write 2x plus y equals 18, okay? I'm going to write here, find y. So now this x becomes what? 5. So actually here we use a substitution, okay? Plus y equals 18. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus y equals 18. Minus 10 minus 10. So y equals 8. All right? So you can see that I already have find x and y. And I'm going to do it just once so you can remember, okay, how to check. I'm not having you, and I'm not asking you to check in the homework, right? But you should remember that the idea is that when you find a solution, the solution should work for both equations, okay? So, niños, una vez que hemos encontrado el valor de x y el valor de y, vamos a comprobar. Ustedes no tienen que comprobar ni en la tarea, ¿ok? Porque simplemente quiero que se acuerden que cuando encontramos los valores de x y y, o sea, el par ordenado que es solución de las dos ecuaciones, tiene que funcionar para las dos. Se lo voy a hacer uno, solo para que ustedes se acuerden cómo hacerlo, ¿ok? So, aquí la solución de este es 5,8, ¿ok? So, the solution is 5,8. That's what you have to do in the homework. But now, I'm going to have you checking this only to make sure that it works for both, okay? So, vamos a comprobar. So, 2 parentheses 5 plus 8 equals 18. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 8 equals 18. And 10 plus 8 is 18 and 18 equals 18. So that works. All right? Remember that you x and that you y. Now, 4 parentheses 5 minus 8. That should be equal to 12. 4 times 5 is 20 minus 8 equals to 12. And 20 minus 8 is 12. And 12 equals 12, so that works. That's how I know if my solution is correct. Ahora sí estoy seguro que mis soluciones están correctas porque funcionan para las dos equations. Okay, guys, remember it has to work for both equations. So now let's do number 2. As you can see on number 2, the y's are ready to be eliminated. Why? Because they have the same coefficient, 8 and 8, and they have opposite signs. That's plus and that's minus. So automatically I can eliminate my x because 8 minus 8 is 0. Okay, guys? En este automáticamente yo puedo eliminar el 8. Perdón, puedo eliminar las x porque ya tienen el mismo coeficiente y signos diferentes. So las cancelo. Now I'm going to combine family. Ahora voy a combinar familias. So negative 2 plus negative 1 will give you negative 3y. 12 minus 2 will give you 10. Now we divide by negative 3. We divide by negative 3. It's going to be an ugly one. Y equals negative 10 over 3. Listen, it can work. Decimals work. So don't worry if you get a decimal, all right? Because you can put it in the calculator. So now we're going to find the value of x. So you can use either one. Here I have no choice. They both have negatives, so I can use the one that has less negatives. Muchachos, en este caso los dos tienen valores negativos, so pueden usar cualquiera de las dos. Voy a usar la de arriba porque la de arriba tiene menos valores negativos. So ahora voy a encontrar x, alright? So I'm going to use the first one. Okay. Find x. So I'm going to copy the whole equation, right? Which is 8x minus 2y equals 12. So now remember, this y becomes now what? Becomes negative 10 over 3. So 8x minus 2 parentheses negative 10 over 3 equals 12. I know this is a decimal, but remember, if it gives you a decimal that doesn't have an end, just leave it as a fraction. Now if it gives you a decimal that has an end, so you can do it as a decimal. But look, remember how you do it in the calculator, right? You will put, because I know minus times minus are going to give you plus, but I'm going to do it all together. So I'm going to write negative 2. Remember, guys, to write the negative, you got to use this button, okay? Negative 2, all right? Parentheses, negative 10 divided by 3 close parentheses. So this is how it's going to look. Oh, sorry, I did put it on, my bad. Let's do it again. Okay. Negative 2 parentheses, negative 10 divided by 3 close parentheses. That's how it's going to look. It's gonna look like that. I don't know what you see it better. All right. So now you're gonna do, remember, you're gonna do enter, and I'm gonna give you a decimal that has no end. So the best way for you is to leave it as a fraction. So you're gonna do what? Math, enter, enter twice, and that is your answer as a fraction, which is 20 over 3. Okay? So you get 20 over 3. Okay, equals 12. Now we're going to subtract 20 over 3 from both sides. So minus 20 over 3 minus 20 over 3. I know I'm not going to have enough space, but I'm going to continue here. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm going to continue here, okay? So for now, I'm going to have 8x equals whatever I get from 12 minus 20 over 3. Do it, okay? Do it the same way I did it before, okay? Let me just write it again here. You're going to do 12 minus parentheses 20 divided by 3 close parentheses math enter enter, and let's see what we get. We get 16 over 3. All right, so I'm going to put here 16 over 3. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to divide both sides by 8. So let's do it again, okay? So I'm going to do, listen, in parentheses, you're going to put 16, okay, divided by 3, close parentheses, divided by 8. You're going to write it like that, okay? You're going to do math, enter, enter. Let's see what happens. Math, enter, enter. And you get negative 8 over 3. Okay, now that I have my solution, that's my x and that's my y, I can write my solution. So remember, guys, you can have fractions, all right? So don't be afraid. So the solution is going to be negative 8 over 3, comma, negative 10 over 3. So if you get a decimal on the homework, don't get scared, all right? Or if you get a fraction, remember, to convert a decimal to fraction, you do math, enter, enter. Muchachos, no tengan miedo si les salen fracciones, porque las fracciones ustedes las pueden convertir perdón, los decimales los pueden convertir a fracciones. Solo tienen que darle el botón math, enter, enter. All right? So let's move on. Now we go with number 3. Number 3. If you notice here, the y's are ready to cancel out because we have a plus and a minus and they both have 2 as a coefficient. So muchachos, en el número 3 podemos eliminar las y porque tienen signos opuestos y tienen el mismo valor, ¿ok? So vamos a eliminar eso. So ahora voy a resolver. 6 plus 3 is what? 9x equals 18 plus 6, which is 24. Oh my God, I'm gonna get a double decimal, which I hate, right? But that's how it is. If I divide by 9, so remember, put that on the calculator, right? And just make sure you do math, enter, enter. So let's see, pay attention. Okay, muchachos, recuerden, se eliminan las y, me queda 9y igual a 24. Obviamente me va a dar otro decimal, pero don't be afraid, déjenlo como fracción, ¿ok? Lo pueden simplificar. So esto es lo que van a hacer. Right, guys, this is what you have to do. You're going to do, let's see, because the light here is not good. Okay, you're going to do 24 divided by 9, all right? And you're going to do math, enter, enter. And what do I get? I get positive 8 over 3. Okay? So you get a fraction. That's correct. What we're going to do next, now we have to find the value of y. You can use either one. I'm going to use the first one, all right? So let me write it. 6x plus 2y equals 18. So this x becomes what? Becomes 8 over 3. So I'm going to write 6 parentheses 8 over 3 plus 2y equals 18. Now, on the calculator, guys, I can do this because if I do 6 times 8 is 48, and 48 divided by 3 is what? I think 16, right? And it's going to be 16, but you probably won't be able to do that on your head, ¿ok? Muchachos, yo esto lo puedo, yo sé que me va a dar un número entero porque si multiplico 6 por 8 me da 48, si le divido entre 3 me da 16. Pero si ustedes no saben cómo hacerlo, so usen la calculadora. So let's do it in the calculator. In the calculator you will do this, okay? I'm going to show you how to enter, then I show you, how we look in the calculator. So my problem is 6, all right? Parentheses, 8 divided by 3, close parentheses. So that's supposed to look like that, all right? And when you do that, what you have to do, math, enter, enter. And what do I get? 16. All right? So here I got a whole number. I was lucky. So now that we have 16, so we have to do what? Minus 16 in both sides, so that cancels out. So we're going to continue here. What would I have left? I would have left 2y equals 2, because 18 minus 16 is 2. And if I divide by 2, y equals 1. So what's my solution? 8 over 3, comma, 1. So again, don't be afraid of the fractions, all right? Everybody learned in school how to do that, because I told my students in my class, all right? So let's do 2 more. So you're gonna have 4 like this as a homework. Remember, guys, they're gonna be just ready for you to solve, and you don't have to check. Ok, muchachos, ustedes van a tener 4 problemas en la tarea listos para resolver. Ok, so es muy importante que se acuerden del procedimiento. Okay, let's go on the back. You're not going to have anything like this. De estos no les sale. Okay, so, pero vamos a practicar. Now, the sum of 2 numbers is 8. Their difference is 2. Find the number. This is my first equation, and this is my second equation, okay? Because it has to be a system. La suma de 2 números es 8. Su diferencia es 2. Encuentra los números. Acuérdense, esta que está aquí me da mi primera ecuación. Esta que aquí me da mi segunda ecuación. Now remember, I'm adding 2 numbers, and the number has to be different, right? So we can do one x and the other one y. So we can do, because I'm adding, I'm going to do x plus y equals what? Equals 8. And now the difference is going to be x minus y equals 2. All right? And if I'm not mistaken, no, similar. It was similar to this one. Okay? Instead of x and y, we're using s and t, but it will be the same process. What does that mean? That means that I'm going to cancel my y's because they have different signs. And I'm going to have 2x equals 10, because 8 plus 2 is 10. X times x plus x is 2x. So if I divide by 2, x equals 5. Now to find the value of y, I'm going to pick the first one. And that x becomes now 5. So if I do minus 5, y equals 3. So remember, the question is find the numbers. So you can just put 3 and 5, or you can put 5 and 3. And think about it. What is 5 minus 3? 2. And what is 3 plus 5? 8. So that works. Okay, but you don't have that, something like that in the homework. And in here, I'm giving you 2 equations, all right? And I want to find the value of x. So let's write it vertically, all right? Vamos a escribirlo verticalmente. So this one and that one, so that become here. O, 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 O. That's 2y equals 2. Okay, guys, listen. This one, we're gonna skip it because this is what we're going to do tomorrow. If you notice here, this one has the same sign. So I don't want to get into that. We'll do that tomorrow, okay? So again, you should be concentrating in this type of problems because that's how your homework is going to be like, okay? So acuérdense, muchachos, ustedes tienen que concentrarse en esto porque las tareas son igual a estos. So si les salen fracciones, no tengan miedo, okay, guys? If you get a fraction, don't be afraid. Use your calculator, okay? Thank you, and I'll see you, I guess, next time.